part of Tennessee's.
In only 20 years, Pellissippi State has grown into a comprehensive community college serving 14,000 credit and non-credit students and hundreds of area business partners. Through technological expertise, by being a crucial resource for growing businesses, through offering exceptional college transfer programs, we are committed to the success of this community. This is our only mission. We want you to share our vision.
In the 37 years since its beginning, Pellissippi State has seen 3 presidents. None has served as long or arguably had as much impact on the mission of the college as Allen Edwards. While Edwards' 17 years of service has created many legacies, it is his leadership that will have a lasting impact on the college, the community, and every student that has attended Pellissippi State.
Anyone who's come in contact with Dr. Edwards will not leave untouched by that man. He is a gentle man that's always offering encouragement, that always sees the possibility in a person. So every past student, present student, future student, employer in the community has benefited from Dr. Edwards' tenure at Pellissippi State.
You know, he is such an interesting leader in that he always leads by example, and he has that wonderful combination of being both visionary and practical. He also knows the meaning and the value of win-win scenarios.
A retirement is a time to pause and take stock of an individual's accomplishments. It is a time for reflection on the past and a celebration of one's years of service. For many, a retirement is symbolic of loss and brings with it the uncertainty of change. But when left with a solid foundation, that time of transition becomes easier. Edwards' commitment to education, leadership, and Pellissippi State will light the path for those who follow. Originally from South Carolina, Edwards, a former Fulbright Exchange Scholar, attended Clemson University and the University of South Carolina, Columbia. From there, he went on to earn his doctorate from the University of Texas at Austin. In 1986, Edwards accepted the position of president at Lexington Community College in Kentucky, now Bluegrass Community and Technical College. After 7 years in Kentucky, Edwards and his wife, Sue Bunny, came to Pellissippi State in 1993. Since his arrival, Edwards has been active in the community. This passion for service is quickly noticed by those who work with Edwards.
He knows how to pick the best people to do the job that needs to be done. And then he gets those people together and he works with all of those people to do whatever the task is.
He's a true servant leader. I think the bottom line on that is that he doesn't care about getting credit himself. He doesn't care about his own ego. He doesn't care about accolades for himself. He cares about getting great things done for this community, for Pellissippi State, but also for this community, this region. And you know, an example of that is he didn't have enough time to be the founding chairperson of the Great Schools Partnership that focused on K through 12 education, but he was willing to do that because it was a thing that was needed in the community.
Is that he has filled gaps and holes that needed to be filled in the way of services and facilities to various parts of this community, whether it be the Magnolia campus, whether it be the Maryville initiative, what he's involved in now, getting the Phillips property out in East Knox County. So all of those are indicative of the importance of the things that he envisioned and ultimately has gotten accomplished over the years.
In his time at Pellissippi State, Edwards has overseen the implementation of several significant initiatives, including the construction of a new Blount County campus, the creation of the college's nursing program, the opening of the Magnolia Avenue campus, the building of the Ross Bagwell Center for Media and Art, the growth and recognition of the college's music and art classes, and the founding of the Tennessee Consortium for International Studies. Since 2008, the Tennessee Consortium for International Studies, or TENSIS, has been responsible for sending hundreds of Tennesseans to study abroad. Headquartered at Pellissippi State, TENSIS coordinates programs and international trips for all 19 of the Tennessee Board of Regents schools. Milton Grimes explains the program.
The entire system, TBR system, has a mandate to internationalize the curriculum and the offering on all of its campuses, and TENSIS was created to achieve that goal.
Edwards was an early champion for the program.
I would characterize Dr. Edwards' leadership in the creation of Tensis as integral. He conceived of the organization, he has participated in every stages of its development, and has afforded it considerable support.
Last year we got to go to Hungary, and the very last concert that we did it in this huge cathedral-like church, and it was awesome. It was perfect. The mood was perfect, and it couldn't have gone any better.
As plans began for acquiring the old Catholic high school on Magnolia Avenue, Edwards issued a goal of offering classes by fall of 2000. Lawrence Tullock explains the significance of this campus and the community it serves.
Catholic high school was leaving the Magnolia Avenue campus where it had been historically and was moving out west to a new campus. That's a great thing for Catholic high school, but here you had a long time educational institution in the middle of East Knoxville that was just going to be abandoned, and for an educational use at least. It probably would be reused for something else. Pellissippi State didn't have any approved capital dollars to go and acquire that high school. They didn't have any huge amounts of funds to go acquire that high school, but from the very beginning, Alan Edwards was the kind of leader who was willing to work on very quickly an initiative to try to figure out how to reuse that high school in a way that was the greatest use possible for the community.
Rosalind Tillman, Assistant Dean of the Magnolia Avenue campus, has been there since its opening. She's seen firsthand Edwards' commitment to improving East Knoxville's access to education.
I call him a visionary. It took a vision and a desire to implement that vision for us to have this campus.
To see this vision come true, the foundation had to raise $1.3 million to renovate and equip the new campus.
You know, I think there's a level of pride, too, to think that you have a college in your community. I think that makes you feel good about what you're doing. I work with East Knoxville Business and Professional Association, and so the business community sees this as a resource and an opportunity, as an anchor to what's going to happen along this corridor. The Magnolia Avenue corridor is going to change, and Pellissippi State is going to be a big part of that change.
I like that the Magnolia campus is right across the street from my house, so I can just walk across, and I don't have to waste any time going through traffic or anything.
The Magnolia Avenue campus found a home in a new community. The Blount County campus, however, already had a 20-year relationship with its community. Thousands of students had come and gone through the former Bungalow Elementary School, and its age was beginning to show. In 2006, as part of the college's capital campaign, Edwards tasked the Pellissippi State Foundation with raising money for the new Blount County campus. Holly Burkett, Assistant Dean of the Blount County campus, remembers Edwards' drive to see the new campus open.
Dr. Edwards has been in the forefront of urging the completion of the Blount County campus. He has been instrumental in everything that has happened here. He saw the vision, he saw the need for this campus, and his perseverance and persistence has become a reality. We are here because of what he has done for our campus.
Offering its first classes in fall 2010, the new Blount County campus is not just larger and newer. The new campus itself is a testament to Pellissippi State's dedication to technology and service. The facility won the 2010 Governor's Environmental Stewardship Award for Sustainable Building Practices. It also houses continuing education courses, state-of-the-art classrooms, and an outdoor amphitheater. The new Pellissippi State Blount County campus is more than just a building. It is a part of the community it serves.
The reason I come to Blount County campus, and because it's so close, is that I am paralyzed and I ride in a handicap wheelchair, and it only holds a certain charge, so this is my campus. I have to be here, and I want to be here.
Ultimately, the students have benefited from the Blount County campus. They walk with pride when they come in this building, and I think they are just amazed at the amenities that this campus offers compared to the old campus. But I also think that business and industry benefits, the community in general benefits, our faculty, staff, parents. I can't think of anyone truly that does not benefit at this point or will not in the future.
Recognizing the needs of a community and providing for them is what great leaders do. The Bagwell Center for Media and Art is one such example. Former video production technology program coordinator Ron Bellamy remembers the long struggle for the Bagwell facility.
A lot of people don't realize this, but the plans to build that building started back in about 1991, and I actually had blueprints in my office, completed blueprints in 1992. So it was a long time, of course, before we actually got the funding to build the building, but it was in the planning stages for a long, long time.
Edwards was instrumental in bringing together the community, finding support, and ultimately breaking ground on the Bagwell Center.
And we basically really didn't have enough money to build the building, just from the state funding. And so Dr. Edwards, I think, kind of helped gear up the foundation to go out and look for funding, and they worked very, very aggressively to help that happen.
Opened in 2007, the Bagwell Center for Media and Art on the Pellissippi campus is a 27,000 square foot building housing video, graphics, photography, web, and fine art facilities. Named after Ross Bagwell Sr., an early pioneer in television broadcasting, the Bagwell Center is perfectly situated to provide regional media production companies with qualified graduates.
Naturally, the students I expect to benefit because they're being trained for very real jobs. Even though we're in a tight job market, we do live in an area where there's still a relatively lot of production work and graphic arts work and web work and naturally a lot of photography that's being done. So it's important to students simply because they have a place to go where they can get the kind of training that they really need to go out there and actually apply for and gain jobs.
We get to do a lot of cool stuff and a lot of opportunities you wouldn't get anywhere else. I'm getting to work on projects that out in the real world I probably will only get to dream about because my teachers, they let you have the creative freedom to go out and do what you want, and you've got access to all this great equipment that maybe you'll get in 10 years with your own budget if you're lucky.
A leader also has passions and looks to share those for the enrichment of their community. Edwards' love of music and art has benefited the students of Pellissippi State.
Dr. Edwards is very proud of the music department at Pellissippi State. He frequently travels overseas with the music students, and he always talks about what a great joy it is for the students to be able to learn and have those adventures as they travel to foreign countries. As a matter of fact, on many occasions, he refers to those students as his football program that Pellissippi State does not have.
Dr. Edwards has placed a special interest in coming personally to the events that are held here at Pellissippi State, especially to students, where students are involved with the community and where students are performing and performing what they've rehearsed in class. As a matter of fact, Dr. Edwards is most of the shows, Dr. Edwards will come by during the daytime, during the rehearsals, and just congratulate them, encourage them, and personally show his touch of how he cares about how they do. And as a person that, I'm a manager of technical operations, so a lot of times I'm behind the scenes, and seeing that kind of care demonstrated to a student really brings about a positive change here at Pellissippi State. Dr. Edwards has really placed a personal interest in their well-being as a student.
Sometimes these passions overlap, as in the case with Edwards' dedication to education and his love of international travel.
Not only did he support us with his presence, with his interaction, but he also has supported us financially in our program by instituting some scholarship initiatives for our students who are in our ensembles that are auditioned. Dr. Edwards has continued to support us by initiating the foreign travel for the Variations Ensemble. This year will be our 4th trip abroad to Europe. Amazing opportunities for these students.
Under Edwards' guidance, the music program at Pellissippi State has grown to become a feature and a point of pride for the college and community.
Within a year or so of my coming on board at Pellissippi State, the music program coordinator at the time, Dr. Linda Stutzenberger, and I wanted to try to make this program the premier program of a community college in our region. Dr. Edwards took notice of our efforts and our accomplishments. He began to be more visible at our concerts. He began to be more interactive with our music students. I think he noticed that we could become the face of the college just because music is very appealing to the community. And it's a good way for us to put our face out there for the folks in the Knoxville community. Having Dr. Edwards' support for the music program and the arts here at Pellissippi State has really been a win-win for everyone. For the faculty, it's given us opportunities we could have never dreamed of. For the students, they have had opportunities that most students in a community college could never imagine having. And for the community, we have shown them what can be done with the support of the administration in a 2-year institution with the arts.
Playing in the ensemble is really, it just opens you up to other types of music and other things culturally. Just playing with other people and playing a style of music that's native to our region is something that when you get to play with these kind of musicians, they're so great. I mean, it's really hard to emulate that somewhere else. It's just a great experience and you have a great time doing it.
After 17 years of dedication and leadership, it becomes hard to separate Edwards from the college he has guided for so long. Where the career ends and the legacy begins, and after the farewells and celebrations are over, it is that legacy that carries on to the next generation.
You know, we should all be so fortunate as to, at the end of our careers, have the kind of impact that he's been able to have. I think to a person, everyone will miss him, will miss his leadership, but yet we understand that he's the kind of leader who has really left a legacy that whoever is coming after him will be able to pick up on and go with.
Edwards' career has been guided not only by his leadership, but also by the skills and passion he's brought to those around him.
I just have one word which characterizes his involvement with the Tenses, and that word is yes. He has said yes at every stage of our development. When we wanted to have a program in Mexico in 2007, when we wanted to offer scholarships, no matter what we have wanted to do throughout the entire development of the organization, his answer is always yes.
Well, I enjoyed working with Dr. Edwards. I always felt a special kinship with him because he was interested in what we were doing, and I wish him the very best in his retirement.
But when I think of Dr. Edwards and just how interested in technology that he was even before everybody else was here on this campus, I used to think, he's older than me. I need to know this stuff and I don't know it. So those types of things, when I think of Dr. Edwards and just his vision of technology and how it probably in the end has helped this campus.
Alan's greatest attribute probably would be that I think he's very smart and that he has a wonderful sense of humor, and he relies on that sense of humor a lot to get him through certain times and through certain days. And he's just a nice person. He wants to see everyone do their best.
This sense of humor has served him very well and has made his impact even more memorable for those fortunate enough to have worked with him.
I've had all kinds of injuries this year, and so I had a torn rotator cuff. So that particular day he came over to visit and then asked me out to lunch, and so that day he had to buckle me into my seat belt and unbuckle me, and I had to remind him to do those kinds of things. So, you know, that's the real Dr. Edwards. He did it.
Alan and Sue and my husband and I are both fanatic dog owners. We have very, very spoiled dogs, and they are always trying to convince us that we're worse than they are in terms of spoiling our, quote, goddess puppy. But I want to know if anyone has received a Christmas card or a note card from Alan and Sue over the last 5 years that hasn't had a picture of Willie and Maggie dressed up as a Santa Claus or an elf or a reindeer on it. I don't think you have.
Do you know that when Dr. Edwards told me we needed a bluegrass ensemble, I thought he was kidding. Right. So I laughed. And he said, "You're a snob." So for the last 3 years, I have been trying to prove to him that I'm not a musical snob.
It is, however, the students, their dreams, hopes, and future that have always driven Alan Edwards. He has never lost sight of the long-term significance of his position.
Dr. Edwards is always considering the needs of students first. As a matter of fact, he thinks of his students as his children. He talks about that. And if he had the capacity on his BlackBerry to have a picture of every student at Pellissippi State, he would. And he would take that opportunity to show those pictures. That's the kind of man he is.
His vision, the vision he had for this college and its growth, for Pellissippi State in general, but for Magnolia in particular, is what characterizes his impact here.
In only 20 years, Pellissippi State has grown into a comprehensive community college, serving 14,000 credit and non-credit Well, students. I think I did pretty good. I think I did pretty good. I think people who knew us in the early 90s see us very differently now in 2011. And I think it's taken a lot of people and a lot of time to make that happen. It's always a wonderful story to tell, and there are always people in the audience who don't know it. Even today, even though I've been telling the same story for 18 years in our area, there's still people who say, oh, I had no idea. I didn't know you did that. How wonderful. And I love being able to tell people that, to tell people what we're doing and how well we are doing it. It's the best part of the job.
As this chapter comes to an end, there are those who wish Alan Edwards well in his retirement and look forward to his next pursuit.
And in fact, I'm very, very hopeful that he continues and transitions and continues to provide the kind of community leadership and retirement that he has as president of Pellissippi State.
I would say one thing to Dr. Edwards as he goes into retirement and loses his company car. We're having a sale at West Chevrolet.
Alan, I love you and I hope you enjoy retirement, but I've got to get back to work now because apparently I'm your retirement plan.